Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I will be reviewing a comic book I received for Christmas, and it is The Big Lie. So basically, as review goes, I'll do a quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then I'll read it. This book, considering the content, I guess it's a bit ironic. I got it for Christmas. It basically talks about 9/11. Yes, and big 911, 9/11. The day. Um, Basically, it's about this woman named Sandra who goes back in time from the future, um, at least 10 or 20 years from the future, and she basically goes back in time to warn her husband who apparently died that day. She goes up to the conference room he was in. He was in the North Tower, a little bit under floor 103, and yeah, basically she's trying to warn him, get out, and they're basically talk, and then the husband and the future wife, and then some of the other co-workers are basically talking about possible conspiracy theories that are to come with the possibility of the actual towers collapsing, and then then the Sandra who came from the future confirms most of these theories as people actually believe in them as conspiracy theories. There's many popular theories here, such as that several officials, like top officials, like mayors and presidents, not presidents, like mayors and like leading soldiers or veterans and stuff like that, were warned not to go on the planes or any plane that's going to New York or anything like that. It was a controlled demolition. They talked a little bit about World Trade Center number 7, the building, and that the FBI and CIA and all the government agencies knew beforehand that the hijackers were in the country and they're planning this attack. Those are some of the main theories they talked about. So yeah, so in my opinion, I think Rick Ivedic and Gary Erskine, which are the two people who did the comic, um, or two other people who did the comic. I think they did a very good job doing this. I actually want to know when this came out. September 11. Okay, so at least in the 10-year mark. So yeah, so this is a 10-year anniversary comic book apparently. I just happen to figure out the date right now. Um, it's by Image Comics and whatever. Honestly, I think this was an interesting comic book. One of the most interesting comic books I've read to date. I really don't read many comic books that make me think, and this is one of the few that have actually made me think. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting, and I still think it's a little bit morbid that I got it for Christmas, but that's whatever. I really don't have many complaints for it. The one complaint, not really a complaint, but there was this one running gag. It was kind of stupid in my opinion, but funny at the same time. But after a time, I really didn't like it. She brought like an iPad, and you have to remember this is 2001 at the time. iPads weren't created at the time. As you can see here, she has an iPad. So a small recurring joke or running gag or whatever that she has an iPad, and instead of watching the content about the 9/11, they're paying more attention to the actual iPad. So it's a stupid joke, but they refer to the joke about 5 or 6 times. After maybe a third or fourth time, it got a little bit annoying, but whatever. No. So yeah. Um. You kind of have a small cameo from Uncle Sam, just not in the cover. We have it in the cover, in the beginning, and at the end. And at the end. Yeah, also in the back you have the names of everybody who died on this day. They're like in a 2-point font or whatever, or really small font. You could barely read the names. It says remembering those who lost their lives on 9/11, September 11, 2001. and you could barely make out the names. I can't really tell if they're in ABC order or anything like that. You could tell there's names here. I don't know if you could read any of them, but whatever. You could clearly tell there's names, which I kind of like. There's some kind of home. Pray for it, pray for it, pray for it, pray for it. Praying for it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Like there's the homage, to the people who lost their lives on that day. Kind of sad, but kind of needed to be done. Sorry about the long stop. I kind of lost my train of thought for whatever reason. Happens often. Don't know why. Just bear with it. Sorry. You know, um, no, it's good I paid some kind of homage or remembrance to the people who lost their lives. So yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to put this at an 8.5. I mean, it was one of those comics that made me think, it had to do with 9/11. I'm a huge history buff. Um, you gave remembrance to the people. You talked about conspiracy theories, but I mean, the comic does get a little bit boring at parts, or just way too silly or comical or whatever. So that's, it would have probably given maybe like a 9 or even a 10, but, it's okay at an 8.5 is what I would rate it. So yeah, this is Daniel Mart. Make sure to subscribe. I do review other comic books. I also review movies and TV shows and action figures and other stuff that's happened recently in the news or in the media or whatever. Comment below on your thoughts on 9/11, or if you lost somebody, I'm sorry for you. If you want to put their names below, R.I.P, whoever, sorry for you. Um, yeah, tell me if you've read this comic before, or if you want to, comment below on your thoughts on this comic. If you want to read it now, comment below on your thoughts. If you want to read this comic book, it's about $5 on Amazon, so whatever. Honestly, I really thought this was an interesting comic book, and yeah, so yeah, thumb it up if you want, or thumb it down if you want. I understand if you pick whichever one, or the latter, or whatever. But whatever, try on Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, or Vine, or whatever you guys prefer. It's your decision, and whatever. And yeah, this is Daniel Mart signing off.